Ever wonder why you see so many old Hyundais still on the road? Those 2012 Elantras and 2015 Tucsons with 200,000 miles. It's not luck. Modern Hyundais are built different, especially since they started offering that 10-year warranty. But here's the truth. Even the best Hyundai won't make it past 150,000 miles without proper care. I've worked on Hyundais for over 12 years, and I've seen pristine Sonatas with seized engines at 90,000 miles. Why? Because the owner ignored one critical maintenance step that Hyundai doesn't emphasize enough. In this video, I'm sharing 7 essential tips that separate 400,000-mile Hyundais from trade-in casualties at 100,000. No fancy equipment needed, just the right maintenance at the right time. So stick around because these insider tips will save you thousands in engine and transmission repairs. Let's get into it. Number 1. Change your oil. Every 3,000 to 4,000 miles. Alright, here's where I lose half the internet, but I don't care because it's the truth. Hyundai says 7,500 miles between oil changes with their oil life monitoring system. I say that's gambling with your engine, especially on turbocharged models, and anything with a GDI engine. I've pulled apart too many Theta II engines with sludge buildup at 70,000 miles. You know what they all had in common? Owners who followed the 7,500-mile interval religiously and trusted the oil life monitor. The GDI engine design means fuel gets injected directly into the cylinder, not through the intake valves. Without fuel washing over those valves, carbon builds up fast. And that carbon loves old, broken-down oil. Plus, if you've got a 2011 to 2019 Theta II engine, Sonata, Santa Fe, Tucson, Optima, you're dealing with engines that have had bearing failure issues. Clean oil is your first line of defense. Here's my rule. Change oil every 3,000 to 4,000 miles for turbocharged engines, every 4,000 to 5,000 miles for naturally aspirated GDI engines, and every 5,000 miles for older, non-GDI engines. Use full synthetic always. Hyundai recommends 5W20 or 5W30 for most models. Check your owner's manual and stick with it. And yes, always change the oil filter too. I've seen people try to reuse filters to save $6. That dirty filter sends contaminated metal particles right back through your engine bearings. A DIY oil change costs maybe $35 with synthetic oil and a quality filter. Compare that to a $7,500 engine replacement that Hyundai might not cover under warranty because you didn't follow severe service intervals. Trust me on this one. Your Hyundai's GDI engine needs clean oil more frequently than that oil life monitor suggests. Number 2. Clean carbon buildup from your GDI engine. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, carbon buildup on GDI engines. If you own a 2011 or newer Hyundai with a GDI engine, and that's most of them, you need to hear this. These engines are prone to carbon accumulation on the intake valves between 60,000 and 100,000 miles. But here's what most people don't know. You can prevent it and catch it early before it ruins your engine's performance. Watch for these signs. Rough idle, especially when cold. Hesitation or stuttering during acceleration. Misfires, or check engine light for misfires. Loss of power on highway on-ramps. Worse fuel economy, 3 to 5 miles per gallon drop. Hard starts or extended cranking. If you catch these early, you might get away with a walnut blasting service around $400 to $600. Wait too long and you're looking at damaged catalytic converters, failed oxygen sensors, and potential engine damage from running too lean or rich. Here's my pro tip. Do a preventive intake valve cleaning at 60,000 miles and again every 60,000 miles after that. I know that sounds extreme, but it's way cheaper than dealing with misfires and failed emissions tests. Use top-tier gasoline. It has more detergents that help, though it won't eliminate the problem. Add a can of CGDI intake valve cleaner or Seafoam through the brake booster line every oil change. It's not a complete solution, but it helps between professional cleanings. And when you do get a professional cleaning, make sure they use walnut shell blasting, not chemical sprays. The chemicals don't work nearly as well on baked-on carbon. Number 3. Address Theta II engine issues proactively. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you own a 2011 to 2019 Sonata, Santa Fe, Tucson, or Kia Optima with the 2.0T or 2.4 Riel Theta II engine, you're driving a ticking time bomb unless you stay on top of maintenance. These engines have been recalled multiple times for engine bearing failures, metal debris in the oil, and even engine fires. But Hyundai has extended warranties on many of these engines, and proper maintenance can prevent catastrophic failure. First, check if your VIN is covered under the engine recall or extended warranty. Go to Hyundai's recall website and enter your VIN. If you're covered, get the software update that monitors for bearing knock. Second, listen for the knock. Start your engine cold every morning and listen for a metallic tapping or knocking sound that speeds up with RPM. That's bearing failure starting. If you hear it, document it, record a video, and get to the dealer immediately. Third, monitor your oil level obsessively. Check it every other fill-up. Theta II engines can burn oil even when healthy, and bearing failure accelerates when oil gets low. If you're burning more than a quart every 2,000 miles, document it and file a warranty claim. Here's what to do. Oil changes every 3,500 miles with full synthetic, no exceptions. Use Hyundai. OEM oil filters or mobile. 1 filters. Keep every service record and receipt. Check oil level every other fill-up. Listen for knocking sounds on cold starts. Get the recall software update. If applicable, I've seen Hyundai replace entire engines under extended warranty at 150,000 miles because the owner had meticulous records showing they did everything right. Without those records, they'll deny your claim every time. A preventive engine replacement under warranty costs you nothing. A failed engine after warranty costs $7,500 to $10,000. Number 4. Service your transmission fluid. Every 30,000 miles. Hyundai transmissions, whether conventional automatic, dual clutch, or CVT, are either bulletproof or problematic, depending on one thing: fluid maintenance. I've seen 8-speed automatics go 350,000 miles without issues. I've also seen dual-clutch transmissions fail at 50,000 miles. The difference? The high-mileage transmissions had their fluid changed every 30,000 miles. Yes, Hyundai says the transmission fluid is lifetime on many models, but lifetime means until the warranty expires at 60,000 miles, not until 400,000 miles. Transmission fluid breaks down, gets metal particles in it, and loses its friction properties. Here's how to do it right. Change transmission fluid every 30,000 miles. No exceptions. For conventional automatics, use Hyundai SP4 or equivalent synthetic ATF. For dual-clutch transmissions, DCT. Use only Hyundai DCT fluid. Do a simple drain and fill, not a power flush. Replace the transmission filter if your model has a serviceable one. For dual-clutch transmissions specifically, found in Veloster Turbo, some Elantras, and Tucsons, change fluid every 30,000 miles religiously. These transmissions run hot, and the clutch packs shed material into the fluid. Keep that fluid clean, or you'll be looking at clutch replacement at 80,000 miles. This service costs about $150 to $200. At a shop, maybe $60 to $80 if you DIY. A new transmission? That's $4,000 to $5,500. I know which one I'd choose. Pro tip: after a fluid change, drive gently for the first 50 miles. Fresh fluid has different friction properties, and the transmission needs to relearn shift points. Number 5. Replace spark plugs at 30,000 miles. Hyundai might say 95,000 miles for spark plugs on some models, but I'm telling you 30,000 to 40,000 miles. Why such a drastic difference? Because GDI engines are brutal on spark plugs. Direct injection means carbon accumulates on the plugs faster. The plugs fire under higher cylinder pressures. And if you've got a turbo, add even more heat and pressure. I've pulled 60,000-mile spark plugs from Hyundai turbos that looked like they'd been dipped in tar. Those engines were misfiring, getting 6 miles per gallon less, and running rough. Here's what to look for. Misfires, or rough idle. Check engine light for cylinder misfires, P0300 to P0304. Sluggish acceleration. Hard starts. Worse fuel economy. For most Hyundais, you want NGK laser. Iridium or Denso. Iridium, spark plugs to OEM specs. Don't cheap out with copper plugs or no-name brands. The good Iridium plugs cost $8 to $12 each but last longer and perform better. For a 4-cylinder engine, you're looking at $50 to $80 for a full set of premium plugs. Do it yourself in 30 minutes or pay a shop $150 to $200. Either way, it's way cheaper than replacing ignition coils or catalytic converters damaged by prolonged misfires. Pro tip: when replacing plugs, also inspect the ignition coils. They can fail around 80,000 to 120,000 miles, especially on turbocharged engines. If a coil looks cracked or oil-soaked, replace it. And use a tiny bit of dielectric grease on the plug boots to prevent them from seizing. Number 6. Keep your cooling system pristine. Your Hyundai's cooling system is working overtime, especially if you've got a turbo or live in a hot climate. Modern Hyundai engines run hot to meet emission standards, and the cooling system has to keep up. Skip coolant maintenance and you're gambling with head gasket failure, warped heads, or cracked blocks. I've seen 2.0T engines with warped heads at 90,000 miles because the owner never changed the coolant. I recommend a full coolant flush every 30,000 miles, or 3 years, whichever comes first. Not just topping it off, a complete drain, flush, and refill. Use only Hyundai Long Life coolant or equivalent ethylene glycol coolant that meets Hyundai MS 59108 specs. The wrong coolant can corrode aluminum components, and most Hyundai engines are aluminum. Here's my process. Check coolant level monthly. Look for rust or oil contamination in the reservoir. Pressure test the system every 2 years for leaks. Replace radiator hoses every 100,000 miles. Or if they feel soft, inspect the radiator cap. They lose pressure seal over time. Check for coolant leaks under the car after sitting overnight, and don't forget the thermostat. These often stick open or closed around 80,000 to 100,000 miles. Symptoms include slow warm-up times, overheating in traffic, or the temperature gauge fluctuating. A stuck thermostat costs $150 to $250 to replace. A warped cylinder head from overheating? That's $2,500 to $3,500 minimum, and Hyundai won't cover it under warranty if you neglected maintenance. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Your Hyundai is built to last, but only if you give it what it needs. These 7 tips aren't just suggestions. They're the difference between driving a 400,000-mile Hyundai or trading it in at 100,000, because the repairs cost more than the car is worth. I've seen both outcomes too many times. Follow this maintenance schedule. Oil changes every 3,500 to 5,000 miles, depending on your engine. GDI carbon cleaning every 60,000 miles. Address Theta II issues immediately with proper documentation. Transmission fluid every 30,000 miles. Spark plugs every 30,000 to 40,000 miles. Coolant flush every 30,000 miles or 3 years. AWD Differential Service every 50,000 miles. Do this, and your Elantra, Sonata, Tucson, or Santa Fe will outlast your car payment by a decade. Skip even one of these, and you're rolling the dice with a $7,500 engine replacement. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video where we're breaking down the actual costs of Hyundai maintenance versus other brands. You'll be surprised which one comes out ahead.